Of it to come and visit us here in the kingdom and to visit with each other on the real threat, which is the rise. If we are to call ourselves in a war with theocrats, then I believe that we can start to put together the military, social, and political, and maybe even economic policies in a holistic manner to counter this threat, as we did with communism. But what do we call it? Do we call it theocrism, to invent a word? Do we call it fascist theocracy? We must find a term that we can all share. I mean, the absurdity of having ISIL, ISIS, Daesh, all representing one group, Al-Qaeda, and God knows what else in the future, allows us to hop blindly and haphazardly from one threat to the other without containing it within a complete paradigm.
To strive for a common understanding. Criticism. This year,
now I can turn to making the formal opening of this, our first plenary at the 10th.
Should we all be aware of supply complacency? That means not allowing the short-term picture of a well-supplied oil market to obscure future energy demand challenges.
Your Excellency.
Issues of theocracy, political Islam, and good governance. So three very important remarks, and your second. Well, the Manama Dialogue was established 10 years ago, and the idea was, while the 6 countries of the GCC often meet, and while the countries of the GCC will often meet with Europeans or with North Americans or even with Asians, there was really no place in the Middle East where the countries of the GCC could meet with their immediate neighbors, Iran, Iraq, Yemen, Turkey, with European countries, with North American countries, and with the Asia-Pacific countries that are increasingly taking a larger stake in Gulf security.
The United Kingdom, the United States,
What I think has been clear in the last year or two, and what came out strongly in this year's Manama Dialogue, is the will of the GCC states and others to take more responsibility for their own security. Yes, to collaborate with outside powers. Yes, to collaborate with those forces that don't that have military capacity that they don't enjoy. But this is not a security policy that can be delegated entirely to the outside. And in fact, in the fight against Daesh, there's a number of active participants from the GCC countries, and there's a good deal of debate leading towards the Doha summit of the GCC heads of state as to how the Peninsula Shield Force can be modernized, about how military cooperation amongst the GCC states can be improved so as to make it more easy for GCC states in a collective way. Our Secretary of State for Foreign and Commonwealth Affairs.
We are finalizing now the structure for a unified command that will have the land, the sea, the naval, and the air components all integrated in a unified command for the GCC.
قضايا العمل هي طاغية بشكل أساسي، ولكن
المعتمدات القضية صفة من باب أولى الدول المجاورة